Good morning, Stampers. This is Debbie, and I just thought I would come on here and give you a little tip. My stamping markers are running out of ink, so I'm going to show you how to refill them. This is, I bought this container at Hobby Lobby to hold my markers. And let's see, I have a Coastal Cabana. Let's see, I've got a, let me figure out where what is. Granny Apple Green. Mango. And I'm filming this on my webcam today. So please be patient with me. There's no way I can edit these. But what you're going to do is take the cap off and you're going to pull out the little nib. And this is the nice thing about the Stampin' Up! Markers. The ink in the Stampin' Up! Markers is exactly the same as the ink in the ink pads. So you can refill them. You don't ever have to buy them again. All you got to do is buy the refills. My Mango Melody is running a little bit dry. And I use these markers. I like to put about 10 drops in here. And when the drops start sticking near the top, just tap them down, stick a few more in there. Now my markers, I use some of these particular markers I use for highlighters in my Bible, and I'm going to put one drop right there on that tip because the tip is dry. And then I'm going to set these up in a pencil container until that ink travels down. I use these when I color in my Bible too. I have one of those coloring Bibles. These work great. I haven't had any problem with bleed through. Well, when they're brand new, you might have bleed through, but just take it and hold it down on a paper towel or something for a minute and take the excess ink out and it doesn't bleed through. And I'll tell you another thing. A lot of that depends on how you store your markers. A lot of people, and myself included for a while there until I learned how to store my markers, didn't care for the fine tip end. But what happens is, and every pen manufacturer on the market tells you to store your pens flat. And in the case of the blends and the any other marker you have, that is true. But in the case of the Stampin' Right markers, we have such a fine tip. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a very fine little, almost a 0.7 marker tip on there. Let me find a piece of paper. And a lot of times when you go, that tip won't write, and it's aggravating. But when you store it horizontally and the ink disperses, it doesn't get to this tip. If you will store your markers upright, the ink will always be available to that little fine tip. See, I don't have any problem with my fine tips because I store mine like this. And it makes them very, very handy. Let's see. And look at there, my mango melody is ready to go. See my coastal Quebec. Let me put the lids on those. I'm fixing to have an oopsie. And if you would like to see my coloring Bible, I would be happy to show it to you. I have colored the entire Bible. I have highlighted every number. And I did all the numbers with this coastal cabana right here. I missed. But these things are so easy to fill. And as long as you can buy the refills, you will never have a dry marker. But store your pens in a cup or something with the fine point down, and you will never have an issue with that fine point, I promise you. I love mine. I use the fine points all the time. Oops, what am I doing? I'm trying to put the wrong lid on there. Okay. And you might want to leave those horizontal for a day or two, or for an hour or two after you re-ink them. But outside of that, you're not going to have any problem. These are wonderful markers. They're not blends. They don't do what blends do. But there are many things that they do that the blends don't do. There's a lot of times that you're going to want to use a marker and you're not going to want it bleed completely through the paper. These do not bleed completely through the paper. And they're wonderful for coloring your little Bible pages with. I don't have my Bible in here with me right now, or I'd show it to you. But if you would like to see a flip through of my Bible, let me know, and I would be happy to do that for you. Thanks for watching. May God bless.